Hello and welcome back to the road to episode 7, an ongoing series where I chronicle the journey to the release of Star Wars episode 7. Now today I actually want to be talking to you about the decline, or the death even, of LucasArts, but I'm going to do it in another video because I'm putting a lot of time and effort into that one, and it's going to be a pretty special video, I hope. I'm putting a lot of work into it, so that should be coming within a week or so look out for that one, the LucasArts video. But for now, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. One, it was May the 4th, last Saturday, and I was really planning on doing something for that, but I was working all weekend, so I didn't have the time to do anything with it. But I am working my way slowly through this, the Star Wars Complete Saga Blu-ray, and it's just, I had this since it came out in September 2011, but I just never really watched that much of it. I watched the prequels, didn't really feel up to stomaching the original films on Blu-ray in terms of the changes and stuff. But I've never really delved into the special features either, and I'm really enjoying those. So you can actually expect a full Blu-ray review of the Star Wars Complete Saga Blu-ray set pretty soon. But yeah, so the 30th anniversary also of Return of the Jedi is this month, which I didn't even realise, it slipped my mind. And you know, Return of the Jedi was my first favourite Star Wars film. I absolutely loved it. This was the copy that I first watched it on, and I absolutely adore the film, and it's just it's brilliant. You know, a lot of people would say it's the weakest Star Wars film in terms of the originals. I'd say probably, you know, but I don't mean weak in a bad way. I just think Star Wars and Empire are probably just that little bit better than Return of the Jedi. But still, I love the film, and it's great that it's the 30th anniversary and people are celebrating it. And as a matter of fact, there was a screening on Saturday, May the 4th, which is now pretty much known as Star Wars Day. I'll talk about that in a minute, but first of all, just a bit of recent news. There was a news article that went up today that said that Simon Pegg confirms that the Millennium Falcon will be in episode 7. It says, luckily we have someone like Simon Pegg. This is from JoBlo.com, by the way. Luckily we have someone like Simon Pegg who is willing to share a little but not too much from J.J. Abrams, who will be making the new Star Wars film. Simon Pegg is basically waving what we want from the series in front of our faces and leaving us wanting more. During an interview with Total Film in their upcoming issue, Simon Pegg spoke about how J.J. Abrams would breathe new life into Star Wars Episode 7, but keep the things we love about it. And this is what he said. What will he bring to the franchise? Simon Pegg says, everything that was missing from the last 3, that's what he did to Star Trek really. Invigorate it with a little bit of Star Wars magic. He switched it from science fiction to science fantasy. And I think if anyone can pull it out of the mire, it's JJ. He'll bring the fun back, which Lucas seemed to misread about what made the first one so great, and he always concentrated on things that people didn't really care about, or willfully ignore the things that people cared about, whereas JJ will embrace them all. We're going to see the Millennium Falcon again, we're going to see those characters again, all the things that we loved about the first 3 we will see again. That is what he said. He then tweeted later to to clarify. He says, it's worth pointing out, Total Film, that anything I said in that exchange was speculation. Me and J.J. Abrams have had no discussions about it. So obviously the Millennium Falcon film was just something that Simon Pegg, you know, envisioned or imagined and thought would be cool to see. So no confirmation there. Not that I'm really looking for specific confirmations about things like that, but still, I think Simon Pegg is right. I think J.J. Abrams is definitely going to breathe new life into the Star Wars series. Now, Mark Hamill made an appearance this past Saturday, at the Egyptian Theatre in Hollywood. They held this big day where they celebrated Return of the Jedi's 30th anniversary and May the 4th in one big celebratory day. They screened the film a number of times, and it's worth noting they screened the 1997 special edition release. And it's also worth noting, someone who was there said that there was a huge cheer at the end of the film when Sebastian Shaw was the ghost of Anakin Skywalker, because obviously, you know, the fans do care about that kind of thing, and that's cool to see. And even Mark Hamill commented, he's like, is this the one, did you watch the one with Sebastian Shaw in it? So yeah, Mark Hamill made a lot of comments. I don't think I've got time to go through them all now. But yeah, it's cool to see Mark Hamill doing this. He's still, you know, cool with discussing it and all that kind of thing, and it seems like he's, you know, up for doing the next one. And he talks about how he had a meeting with Kathleen Kennedy. If I can find it, I've got the whole thing saved here on my phone. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I just haven't got time to really talk. Okay, here's one thing he said. He says, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen Return of the Jedi since they did the re-release with the special editions. I saw all the movies when they came out, and sometimes more than once because of the premieres. You know, there'd be one in New York, and then you go and see it in London, and then with the royal family in Japan. But I've never watched them at home. But when George did the special editions, my kid were just mad at me. They say mad at me? Yeah, they were just mad for me to go. And I said, oh, well, I don't want to. And I always use the analogy, when's the last time you looked through your old high school yearbook? And they said, but we want to see them on the big screen. And I thought, well, that's a compelling argument. So that's the way they were meant to seem. So I went and saw the original trilogy one more time when the special editions came out. And there's a video as well. I'm going to post a link to a video. It's like the whole Q&A session, really interesting. And he talks about how, you know, he really felt like he had to separate himself from Star Wars after it was done. And there's a really good analogy. He said it's like if you're moving out of your childhood home, and then these people move in and they start playing with your toys, and it's just painful, you know. And it's almost kind of like an analogy towards the whole thing with the films being changed. But he's really trying to separate himself from that kind of thing. There's a really funny thing he said, actually, and I'll insert that clip now because I can't do it justice. I just thought it was really funny. This is a comment Mark Hamill had about the changes to the Star Wars films.
Because, you know, I have a son, Nathan, well, this is his shirt, by the way, he designed the shirt, who, you know, will keep me abreast. He goes, oh my God, Dad, you know what, Guido shoots first now. I go, wait, you know, let's put this in perspective. Who cares?
It's just classic, really. I love Mark Hamill. He's so funny and just seems like such a down-to-earth and cool guy. He says that he thought, you know, at the end of Return of the Jedi, that was the final film. Absolutely, the last one. We had a beginning, a middle, and an end. I remember the first week of shooting, I was talking to George, and he was talking about how originally it was going to be 4 trilogies of 12 films. And then George said, oh, we cobbled it down to 3 trilogies of 9 films. And he said, why are we starting in the middle? And George Lucas said, well, this trilogy is the most commercial. But Mark Hamill really had no idea what the sequel trilogy would be either. He says, I don't even think there would be I didn't think the 3rd trilogy would feature us. I thought we were just going to do a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then it was over. So the feeling on the set of Jedi was really like the end of semester. And it was mixed feelings because everyone was anxious to complete the mission of doing the 3 films, but we also knew it would be the last time we would see everybody. And he says, you know, I'm still in a state of shock that they want to do more. And he talks about how he had that meeting with George Lucas a year or so ago. He says he doesn't know much about Episode 7 at the moment. He had a creative meeting with Kathleen Kennedy, during which he expressed something that's important to him about the making of the new films. And he said, I said to her, we've got to find a proper balance between CGI and old school models. I think there's nothing wrong with CGI, but I think you have to have a balance. Because the camera perceives width and depth and the weight, even if it's just a miniature model. The camera just realizes that. And so when you have too much CGI, if the clouds are CGI, the trees are CGI, and the buildings are CGI, you get to the point where it's a hybrid of an animated film and a live action film. And I wanted to have a more organic look so that we don't get into Roger Rabbit territory. This was met with huge applause. But Hamill added a qualifier, I don't imagine that their top priority is what I want. So it's great to see that he has that view on things. Hopefully J.J. Abrams will follow through with that kind of thinking. But yeah, so that's just basically what's going on. No real news as of yet, but look out for the LucasArts video. I'm really excited about how that's going to turn out. I'll probably do a Blu-ray review of this, and thank you for watching. See you next time.